Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We are once again here for Ascent. I am, of course, Graham Morrison, joined by I am Cyber Waste for what should be an absolute doozy of a game between Stygian Thunder and Apollo Rising.
They have some similarly epic names to boot. Yes, my name is Cyberwaste, also known as Justin, and thank you all for joining us for another round of the first season of Ascent between Apollo Rising and Stygian Thunder, and we'll run you through our lineups quickly. I'll go through Apollo Rising first. We'll have Pulsar, Padawagon, Tech9, Razorfish, Motion, and Ghidorah, and Mr. Graham Morrison, can you run through Stygian Thunder?
Well, they have I'm Not Evan, which is abundantly clear because Evan is our producer tonight. But they have I'm Not Evan, Mystic Leaf, Timu, I forgot my name, which, I mean, really, we've all been there at some point or another in our lives. Big Dad and Cher Horowitz.
Sure, Horowitz.
Sure.
I took it as a first name, last name sort of bent, where it was Cher Horowitz, Tony at Law.
No, it's Cher Horowitz, like the singer.
Oh, Cher Horowitz. Cool.
Well,
that's extremely cool. And you know what else is cool? We have our players.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
Oh, I was gonna say hopefully he doesn't want to turn back time because they'll have a good game and not need to turn back the clock for it.
I let you in on that one. I thought you'd make better use of your time with that one. But anyway, we have our players, but what good are players without any maps? And we do have a full set of maps on offer. This is a best of 5 set for those that are not familiar with how things go for Ascent this evening. And to start off with, we will be on Ilios. And then we run through the disciplines with 2 different choices. And I'll bring those to you in a second. We have Route 66 or Junkertown. And then the next map that we will have is the Assault. And we have Hanamura or Volskaya Industries being chosen. And then the hybrid discipline, if we require a 4th map, which will be Hollywood or Blizzard World. Hollywood, which we have not seen in quite a while, which I'm really looking forward to if we end up going that far. And then to conclude our best of 5 set, it will be Control on Oasis. And if we enter any maps at a time, we'll go to Lijiang Tower to settle it all. And now let's start this epic journey, Mr. Graham. We're going to Ilios. And now we'll see who has the better metal.
Well, we are going outside into the lovely pit of glory, as I like to call it, inside. Oh, I don't even know what this is, like the ruins of the architecture place. The word is escaping me. Please.
I was going to say we will see the art of ruin come on this point.
What is this a ruin of? What's the word for this thing, though?
Acropolis, I think, might be the one you're looking for. Someone's going to try to correct us.
Yeah, it's like not like a pantheon or anything. It's a word.
Maybe we'll have to consult a dictionary or thesaurus.
Or Twitch chat. Twitch chat's usually a good consultant as well. And I do want to say, like, I think the thing I am most excited about for this one is the fact that in respect for the Canadian caster, players on Apollo Rising changed their avatar to Canadian, like the Canadian flag. And showing no love or respect for me, Stygian Thunder changed it all to American flags. So I'm very clearly taking Apollo Rising 3-0 in this series because
okay,
that's just respectful for the Canadian.
Just because they pandered to you, now I understand. But there is one thing that I would like you guys to make note of. It is the Widow Jewels, which are always so exciting. The one will be between I Forgot My Name and Pulsar. And given the rollouts that we will see, there's one crucial piece off the table for Apollo Rising. The Stygian Thunder does have in the back pocket. That is the Resurrect. And Cher Horowitz is the pilot of the Swiss Medic.
Well, the duel is starting to come through. Tech9's done a lot of work there, going to D-Mech Big Dad. It's actually Padawagon getting the D-Mech credit on that one. But a couple kills coming through as Tech9 kills the Mini D.Va. Doing a good job getting the Widow as well, making this Genji sing in all sorts of way, and putting all kinds of pressure on these backline supports. He's going to get the Zenyatta as well. So a lovely little 3K there for Tech9 and a polarizing grab of the first cap.
They definitely do rise to the occasion, and golly, Tech9, just like the namesake in another game that Drewbone and I are very familiar with, or Mr. Graham Morrison, as he is now known, is still an absolute powerhouse, and he has put that on to display. The player named Tech9, and he's got the Dragon Blade in his back pocket should he so elect to use it, and he's got a nano boost to boot, and he's cut the support line dead in its tracks, got the counterpart Genji ejected. Big Dad and Padawan got the final killing blow on the Mystic Leaf, and well, with a shout at the devil, Tech9 just ran right through the opposition of Stygian Thunder just like water.
I've said this for a long time, and I think anyone who knows me knows that I am a big fan of Tech9's game. And I honestly think he's going to be one of the next big Australian players. He's a guy to keep tabs on. I mean, it's super early in his career, but he has climbed the ranks very quickly. He's looked impressive at every stage in the game, and he is my player to watch for this game, and he's showing why.
Well, there's no doubt about it. He's a true testament to the fact that Australian Overwatch is a hotbed at the moment, but I Forgot My Name has gotten the better of Pulsar in the duel, and now it's actually an even fight. I'm Not Evan has gotten rid of motion on the Ana, and Mystic Leaf has been brought back into the fight. Stygian Thunder are slowly dissolving the attack of Apollo Rising, and it looks like the foundations are actually starting to crumble, and the point's actually been seized by Stygian Thunder. But if you're the side of Apollo Rising, you'd have to actually be pretty happy with that, because given where you're at 86%. You win one fight, take the point back. You win another fight, and the point will be seized for you. But looking at the lay of the land, this is far from over.
And you see Tech9's brother Pulsar throwing some shots out there on the Widow, looking for the nice entry as a Primal Rage is coming out from Stygian Thunder. Getting right up in their faces, hasn't really found any kills yet, just being a bit of a distraction as the push is starting to come forward. They are looking for whatever picks they can find. What they will find is the D.Va Bomb coming out on the point. Not able to find anything as Giador picks off Cherowitz in the back line with the Dragon Blade. Tech9 grabbing two. And this is once again going to be a recap coming in for Apollo Rising. Giador with the 2K. And Pulsar chiming in with a Widow shot as well. Apollo Rising are looking downright dominant on this first map.
And Tech9 will be public enemy #1 in this entire set if this goal is any indication. And now there is the Dragon Blade counterpart from I'm Not Evan, and it actually cut down Razorfish. So that's been blunted for the time being. Ghidorah has been dropped as well. And Motion has actually gotten rid of Mystic Leaf. But, oof, well, I Forgot My Name has actually gotten rid of Tech9. So that threat's been dropped from the fight. And now the side of Stygian Thunder, despite that looking extremely good off the back of Tech9's Dragon Blade, the side of Apollo Rising actually had to seize the point. And we're going into another chapter. It looks like Apollo Rising's been completely tapped aside from the Primal Rage of Ghidorah. And it'd be highly unwise for him to use it in this next fight unless a very crucial pick comes to pass.
It's the only ulti on the field right now. Timu will get the sound barrier up, but Tech9 very close to that Dragon Blade. Ana's very close to the nano boost on Motion as well. So this could be a great opportunity for a few ults to come in. And there it is, the engagement coming through. The boosted blade is in, trying to find any kills, but they are going the way of Stygian Thunder. Tech9 is still trying to chime in with the blade what he can, but I'm Not Evan's got the follow-up kills. And this is going well for Stygian Thunder as they're starting to pull this one back. They are still fighting out on the point, and Tech9 with a huge pick onto the Mercy. Will look for whatever else he can find, but he's going to be cleaned up. And Padawagon just getting on the point in time on this Wrecking Ball. Trying to delay for the spawns. He's going to go down. Can anyone get here? No, this is going to be stolen from Stygian Thunder.
Poor Big Dad has actually put in the extra effort to knock back the Lucio that was on the return ever so slightly. Well, it's a true testament that Overwatch, especially in the game mode of control, is a game of inches and millimeters. And that was it on true display. So now, Stygian Thunder are really bringing the thunder and the lightning too. They are one map up on Ilios. So we go to the pit of death. Well, we'll be up next, and we'll see what we do have for our hero lineups. Sobra's on the field for being handled by I Forgot My Name, and could actually be quite crucial, nullifying quite a few ultimates that are on offer for Apollo Rising, especially Motion Sound Barrier being made completely null and void, whatever that is cast. And both teams actually wasting no time. Apollo Rising really pushed the initiative. And Big Dad already been ejected.
That is a very nice start, but they need to find a few more things, and Padawagon picking off the Pharaoh is once again a nice start. That's the thing though, Apollo Rising, they started so well on the last segment. They need to actually pull through on this one, should we want to go to the third and final stage, which is that Lighthouse. But again, starting on the right foot, Apollo Rising look to be in control this far, as they have the point capped. Now it's going to be this next fight coming forward. I'm Not Evan's going to want to try and negate Tech9 on the Pharah. Might be easier said than done.
And Padawagon actually being ejected. Almost an entire team effort, given how that feat actually turned out. There is Motion with the sound barrier, just to give a little bit of an insurance policy for that fight. Policy did end up going down, but given the positioning of Stygian Thunder at the present, we're not really in a good place to try and retake the well. So it's going to get up to at least, say, 45-50% before an actual tip can take place. So it looks like an engagement's already wanting to be pushed. I Forgot My Name could actually get a huge EMP, and that's where it'll go. The justice has been rained down by I'm Not Evan, and Tech9 will be claimed. Mystic Leaf is done the same, sitting right on top of Motion, and Padawagon's getting the opposition to clear the area, as exactly what did happen. And this fight will continue, but the forces of Stygian Thunder are slowly trying to envelop back towards the point.
Oh, and a very nice Diva Bomb picks off Razorfish as this very lengthy fight's going on, but this is all okay for Apollo Rising. They have delayed this point for so long, and I think it started at about like 30% this engagement. They got up to 80 on the flip, or 79.
We'll give you the benefit of the doubt, round it up slightly, but still bleeding that much time. Say, give or take 35, 40%, and getting it up to 80. You'd have to be extremely happy with that, and especially forcing the side of Stygian Thunder to really invest that much to try and flip things over. Looks like Apollo Rising are trying to rise up and take the power back.
Well, there is a sound barrier, and that saved about 3 players. I'm Not Evan, and I Forgot My Name are very low, and Ghidorah is the opening pick. Motion's gone down here as well, and Tech9 will be cleaned up too. Stygian Thunder doing a great job brawling this one out. Padawagon tried to find one more, but not going to do anything else as this continues to climb. Now up to 40%. They're halfway there for Stygian Thunder. We'll see if Apollo Rising can bust back on through. They have a few ultis to use, but there's more on Stygian, so they're poised for this hold.
Indeed, and I'm Not Evan really wanting to lay waste to assert dominance, especially in the Pharah duel versus Tech9. But now every single member is out towards the point. Tech9 has laid waste to 2 before being claimed by I'm Not Evan, and has used the barrage of his own right to not get kills, but basically nullify the entirety of that sound barrier. And then Mystic Link's been brought back into the fight. Ghidorah, the opposing Winston, has been brought down. And just like that, the lead that the side of Apollo Rising did have, that has been evaporated and exceeded by Stygian Thunder. And now they are on the back foot despite looking so poised very early on.
They have a couple more ultis to use here in this engagement, and the impact is going to be so huge. Diva Bomb is coming in. This could be massive. It's not going to find anything, though. It needed to get something. Now we are into overtime on this point, trying to fight it out. They're looking for kills, and Tech9's gonna fall. That is a huge opener for Stygian Thunder right now. Can they find anything else? The revive is gonna come forth, but that means Razorfish has fallen. Motion down too. There's no support. Stygian Thunder still finding some of these kills. A couple players are still trying to fight it out. Geodor with the 2K. That's massive. Pulsar getting one as well. A Rez is gonna come in. There's 2 tanks on this point, but it is so tense right now. Steam a bomb in, but they don't get on the point. They can't get there. And Stygian Thunder take map 1.
Theodora had just popped the primal rage to try to get back there in time, but it was not to be. And here is Tech9 with the play of the game. It was well earned, mind you, but it's a true testament. Despite the best efforts, Tech9 was definitely putting on a clinic there, but only one player could do so much. The rest of the team were trying to push their weight, but, well, it looked like the side was just far too strong, and now Stygian Thunder will be your victors there. They will take Ilios, and now Polarizing have the power of choice going into our next map.
Yeah, and I mean, the big thing is, in what was a big trend in that map is Polarizing were great in the opening team fight on both segments. They were great while they had the point. Like, I think both times they came out like 70, 60, 80, somewhere in there right off the bat, which is huge. Like, that's everything you can ask for at that start. But the problem was once they lost that point, both times they struggled to get it back. They had some close fights. Their ultis weren't quite on point enough. Like Patawagan's Diva Bomb there at the end, that needed to find something, but it came in a little bit too high. Wasn't able to get any of the impact it needed. And with that down, that's a big tool off the field, and they kind of struggled to retake these points. I'm curious to see if if a map change is going to be good.
Well, we will wait and see, but we are going to Route 66, a mixed bag of everything in terms of just the way that it's played. Even you'll see one of 2 things take place in what I've seen both in Ascent and elsewhere. You'll either see a defense just basically put up a rock solid wall around the first point and eventually be battered down, or the attackers will run straight through, and it'll just basically be the end of that. Just setting up a blazing time, especially on the final point, which a lot of the people that I've talked to that play Route 66, that third point, especially around the truck, which is towards the final point, it's super difficult. If you've got a defending squad that's really dug in, it's really hard to crack. And we'll have to wait and see how all of that will pan out. And it would look like the attackers will be on the red side of things. We'll see the Brigitte at least on Pulsar for the time being. So we'll really curious to see how she will be utilized. She's not as powerful as she used to be when she was released, but still a integral part for a lot of setups.
So one of the things I'm intrigued by on this map is it gives you a little bit more opportunities to take engagements on kind of like once you get past that opening stranglehold, you get to kind of pick your engagements better on both attack and defense. Whereas when you're on a point like Ilios, you're a little bit more forced into like you need to try and break into this point in open space. And it doesn't, like, it wasn't seemingly conducive to how a Polarizing were able to succeed. Like, their strengths weren't coming in from those engagements where they were kind of forced into them. They felt a lot better when they came in naturally and felt in more comfy. On this map, there's a little bit more opening for them to do that, and I'm curious to see if it leads to a different result or whether we're going to see more of the same.
Perhaps. I forgot my name. Currently cloaked, left completely unchecked, and will be relaying all of this info to his teammates in Stygian Thunder, and especially making note that they do have a Brigitte and just making note of their entire setup. the big buff to Sombra in when those stages took place. Just not even laying down damage, just letting the team know what, just even what composition is running. That type of information will be huge as we move into the first engagement. There's a huge Bionade drop down on the attacking side of Apollo Rising. Pulsar did force Mystic Leap to eat a ton of shield and drop the Winston out of the fight. So that frag could be all for naught, or it could be a high value one depending on how this shakes out. And well, in amongst all that, maybe blue is the color of the feed right now. And Decision Thunder just basically turning that defense outside of Big L's into a giant stop sign, telling the members of Apollo Rising, you shall not pass.
Really nice job by I'm Not Evan getting a couple kills there. Huge picks for his team and won that engagement, but it all came from that huge anti-nade from Temu. Let's see if they can have that same success in this fight, and it's a big hack coming through. Didn't catch as many people as I thought it would, though. Doesn't matter, though. I'm Not Evan has found 2 with that Dragon Blade. Make that 3 onto Pulsar, and he's going to get a 4th on Jadora for good measure.
Well, once you cut down a support line, you don't really have to say much else. It was basically the Ana, the Lucio, and the Brigitte who was the biggest frag, in my opinion, in that engagement. If you can cut them down so efficiently, it's going to stun any attack, and we're running just under 2 minutes. But on the side of Apollo Rising, there are a lot of ults that are abused, especially Motion and Tech 9. Keep an eye on both of them potentially being quite useful in the near future. And then we see the Nano Boost actually go on to the Winston of Mystic Leap. And not claiming all that much, but battering a whole lot back. And here we go for the side of Apollo Rising, cutting down 2 along with the counterpart and ejecting Big Dad from the mech, and then claiming the pilot as well with the final blow. And that defense did not stand a chance against the Nano Blade. Got cut through like an infomercial for knives.
It was such good diligence on the side of Apollo Rising in the fight prior to that to not commit ults. Stygian Thunder used a lot of their tools on defense to try and hold that point, and it left Apollo Rising with a 6-0 ult advantage. When you have 6 ults to 0 on the other team, if you don't get that push, something's wrong. They used them all, or except for Razorfishes. It worked to perfection, and now they're reaping the rewards still, moving forward, picking up Big Dad. Tech 9 is getting at Temu as well. That's a lovely set of picks, and they've gained so much space as this cart is just rolling forward. Tech 9 is going off.
They've bought so much real estate for this cart to move basically unopposed. Razorfish has been just chilling on the cart there, probably listening to his beats or listening to a podcast, who knows. And he's got all the time in the world to do just that, because he knows that the rest of his team is just moving up and clearing out whoever could potentially be a defender and buying so much time. There is the self-destruct there from Dab, more likely just to buy a new mech, but I'm Not Evan really trying to stem the tide and basically halt the progress of this card.
The engagement's still coming in. Gidora's in a little bit of trouble right now, but Tech9's right there supporting him, and it will be the trade of the Winstons. Still a man advantage, but I'm Not Evan going down is huge, and Tech9 now boosted up with that blade, looking for anything else. I don't think he's going to find much else, and oh, the beautiful sleep! That was clutch from Temu. His players are going to be escaping with his life, but still a lot of ultis here for Apollo Rising to use. There's actually 3 aside. Pulsar is going to bring the 4th to the table, and this cap may come through. Bomb trying to deny it. Big Dad, I think he's just thrown his life away on this one. They're actually trying to fight this out, but all these players are still dropping for the defense. I'm not sure this was the right idea. I'm Not Evan trying to chime through with this Nano Blade. He's only found 1, and it looks like they will be able to cap this all the way out, Cyberwaste. What do you think about that? Do you think that was a waste?
A little bit, but Mystic Leaf, I believe it'd be, yeah, he's gone completely off. Maybe using that promo rate to try and buy a little bit more time before knowing that he will need to change, because Winston on this point in particular, as I said in the opener, one of the hardest for the defense to go through, and that's one of the reasons why Reinhardt can basically have a field day and Big Dad's actually going to the Zarya as well. So we're really trying to make the attackers be kept at an arm's length. Looking at the hero lineup, we see the Hanzo now, we see the Zarya, we still see the Sombra, and I forgot my name, whose EMPs will actually hold so much more value given how clumped up the defense will be forced to be. And there goes the Primal Rage forced out on Theodora.
And they're trying to engage off of this. Tech9's gonna get the opener on the Mystic Leaf. That's the Reinhardt down, opens up space. I'm Not Evan with a nice shot though, picking off the Genji. Padawagon tramming through with one on the Zarya. Keeps man advantage right now for the offense, rolling through. Teemu going down to Theodora is huge. Supports have started to fall. They are pushing this forward. It's rolling through. They need to get on this very quickly. Will they even get there? It's so close, but it will be Mystic Leaf getting there just in the nick of time. Dragon Blade coming through with the nano boost. So many ultis on the field right now, but can they find kills? Tech9's found one. I'm Not Evan, though. He picked up a couple the other way, and the defense, I think, will hold short of some miracle play from Tech9, which will not come through. It's going to be back off from Apollo Rising, but this cart is 2.67 meters away. That is so very close.
Indeed, but we could see what I alluded to. We could see it actually get stuck there as the cart will actually roll back. And yet again, I forgot my name on the Sombra. Really wanting to play the recon and perhaps get a hack onto a big, juicy target. Jidora would be huge. And the flanking actually got a little bit of comeuppance, got slept after hacking Razorfish and could potentially go down. Motion and the rest of the squad, Precision Thunder, though, will basically stop the attack, and we are down to under a minute.
That was absolutely mental from Teemu. That anti-nade caught 5 people, and that just completely shut down Apollo Rising. 40 seconds left. That's going to be one engagement. 3 ultis on the defense. A couple are, well, really only one is close for the offense. So you have to imagine, short of a miracle, Stygian Thunder will hold. We'll see what can Apollo Rising do. There is the Graviton Surge trying to stop these players. The Dragon comes through. They don't find a kill though. Pulsar will
put to bed.
That's the Brigida.
And well, Jidora got put up on the truck, put to bed, and then melted down. The self-destruct does come through, breaks the shield, but not a whole lot else. I forgot my name will actually drop Tech9, and coming so close to a Dragon Blade, it's a huge commodity drop for the table. And Motion actually being staggered extremely high, and just getting the touch of Jidora in overtime, but that will not be enough. The wick will disintegrate. And although it did come close for the attackers, the defending side of Stygian Thunder will hold strong and will only give the attackers 2 points as we go to the change.
Devastating for Jidora there. He comes in onto the point at about 95% ult. He only builds up 3%. 2 more away, gets the Primal Rage. Might delay a little bit longer. Those spawns might come in. That push may come through. But nonetheless, solid offense for Apollo Rising, despite the fact that they weren't able to cap all the way through. But can they match Stygian Thunder's defense? Can they one-up it? And with the way that I'm Not Evan is playing on Hanzo right now, if he elects to continue with that, I'm not sure they'll be able to, because he was absolutely popping off, taking heads, and playing incredible on that last hold.
Indeed, just enough to really buy space. I say the cliche enough whenever the Dragon Strike actually goes into a team fight and it passes the seas, but that's more often than not exactly what happens. To avoid getting damaged, the entire attack or defense, whoever the Dragons are going towards, they basically have to run away or just force being chipped away from a Dragon Strike, which, if placed extremely well, can just be absolutely devastating. But I'm Not Evan going to the other side of the Shimada clan. The Cyborg Ninja dude in Genji, who has definitely been no slouch either. And we'll see him and Tech9 go toe-to-toe in this next half. And now the gates will drop. Can Stygian Thunder get the distance and keep their good times rolling?
We'll see, will they let the good times roll, or will that roll come to a halt? They're getting in the opening engagement. Padawagon taking a little bit of damage. Nothing worth noting. With the Sombra is once again in the back, finding a lot of information. We'll get the hack on the motion and escape, which is very nice However, I'm Not Evan falls instantly to Razorfish on that Lucio.
Indeed, it got stunned by the Brigitte there, who is Pulsar, and that still shows the potency of the shield bash. Just tried to move forward and perhaps get a crucial pick towards the back of the defense, but as soon as Pulsar snuffed that out and said, no, stay out of our lane, and just stunned it, and then Razorfish got the killing blow, and there's Big Dan actually being put to bed very quickly. So, and just really trying to make things sing, but I'm Not Evan. You said that he would pop off earlier, and that's exactly what he would do, just dashing all the way through like a old anime fight sequence, dashing back and forth in as few frames as possible, and the only thing that'll put him down is a sleep there, and then Tech9 will come back in tow. We will definitely see a duel moving forward, just judging from who gets the picks where. So, looks like the defense will be holding strong for now. But I forgot my name yet again, playing on the recon and really trying to get the EMP and just relaying this information, which is oh so crucial. If you know a defense, you will know your next point of attack. There goes the Dragon Blade, unsheathed by I'm Not Evan.
Both blades were actually unsheathed, but neither of them really found anything. This fight, though, is still going, and there's the hack coming in. That should lead to a few more picks here. Jador is going to get a nice one on to Cherowitz. And he is Primal Raged up, trying to buy any time that he can. Not going to matter, though, as these players are starting to be cleaned up. He's actually going to get boosted in onto this point. Doing a great job of stalling out, pressuring the back line as the spawns are starting to come in. This may actually be a hold for Apollo Rising if they can find some of these kills. They're looking for anything that they can. But the cart is still moving. Someone needs to get on that to stop it, lest they cap through. The Ana is there. Motion's going to get cleaned up, but now the remaining players that come through, they have demeched and killed the Diva, which is a nice start. But the Valkyries coming out. Can they find anything else? I'm Not Evan's in a lot of trouble right now. He will, in fact, be cleaned up, and Apollo Rising stoning it out. Minute left on the clock right now for Stygian Thunder. This is getting tense.
1 minute and 10, and the car's actually slowly moving backwards. But both teams, aside from Razorfish with the sound barrier, they expended pretty much everything on both sides. And Mystic Leaf and I'm Not Evan have actually elected to go for a change. Fire will be up in the skies. That could be too little, too late. There goes the EMP for I Forgot My Name, and there is the self-destruct to force everybody back. And now Stygian Thunder have come back with a vengeance and have broken the defense with quite a plum. And with just under 30 seconds left, the gates will open and the first checkpoint will go to Stygian Thunder. But they've got a long way to go, Graham. A long, long way to go.
And again, it's been good discipline so far from Apollo Rising. They've been very prudent on their ult use and very careful as well. Like, the fact that they didn't use any in that fight and come out with 4 still up for them. We do see Pulsar switch to McCree, which will be an interesting pick. I'll see how that works out since I'm Not Evan is on Farah. But they have the tools to stop this card out should they choose, and we'll see when they elect to go for it.
More than likely, they will either try to hold onto the bridge. There goes the self-destruct. Pulsar will dig Timu right in the mouth, and Razorfish will get the final blow onto I'm Not Evan. And while this attack may be completely stunned in its tracks, and there is the slight luxury of time with 2 minutes left to build up ults. Mystic Leaf does have the Earth Shatter at the ready, but as you said, after the first checkpoint had been completely expired, extreme discipline on the side of Apollo Rising. There was still 4 ultimates. There was not one committed, and we'll have to wait and see how this next batch of fights will go down. And Timo has actually been cut out of this entire fight, and so is Mystic Leaf. Well, this push was dead before it began.
Yeah, the impressive thing there is Tech9 got a 3K. He did that in spite being slapped for a good half of that ulti. Do everything you can when you're on Ana to delay that, and still just not enough.
Sometimes that reality can be oh so harsh. And I forgot my name is still hunting around in the back line. Babs calling out positions. There is the cue to engage from the Wizard there of Mystic Leaf, and it's actually zapped out Padawagon with I Forgot My Name with his in the injection. Big Dad has gotten rid of Tech 9, who has been a menace unchained for the entirety of that attack. And then I'm Not Evan and Mystic Leaf will get the final blows onto that. Despite I Forgot My Name going down, sure, Horowitz will bring the Sombra back into the fight. This payload will keep going, but there will be another chance for the defense to hulk up, and if not, battle it back, make the card actually sit there. But that's going to make things a little bit more difficult with Razorfish taking it out of the fight. Padawagon getting a self-destruct kill in return on I'm Not Evan, which is not the person you want to go out.
And a great delay coming in here with those ultis used. They still have 3 on the field, including the Nano Blade, but Tech 9 and Motion both fall. They are still brawling out on this point. If they can delay, if that Nano Blade can make it back to this point and try and come in here, that could be game-changing. They just need to keep delaying the point, and it doesn't look like they'll go for it. It looks like this will, in fact, be capped as Geodor falls. And now with 1 minute 28 seconds left, that's not a lot of time to go all the way, but it is doable for Stygian Thunder. They don't have the ultis up yet, though.
They do not, and there's Padawagon electing to say, no, Diva's not going to cut it. We will have to buff things up a little bit, and has gone to the Zarya. So that is a ult that will not be in the fight, barring a very quick charge. And there is the cue to go from Tibu using the sound barrier, but Tech 9 has played a part in cutting this attack down before it even gets the chance to get going. And Ghidorah has actually been blown up. But aside from that, the entire feed has been falling to Apollo Rising. And Rising, he has done. And that's one fight won. They'll have to win another one. And then Route 66 will fall to Apollo Rising.
Yeah, nice opener there by Tech 9, dashing through like the kid from Incredibles. And finding quite a few picks there right off the bat, grabbing the supports. He's done such a consistent job. We'll see if he can continue to have that impact here. Still not a lot of ultis to work with for this offense, so this is going to be a straight DM fight. But Pulsar and Razorfish have both fallen, so this is looking good for Stygian Thunder, just winning the DM fight outright.
Well, sometimes aim will be all that you need. That is a true testament to that. Ghidorah almost getting shattered, but there is one caveat. The side of Stygian Thunder have to hug this like glue. If everybody evacuates the point for long enough, it will be a map. God, the shield did go up, and everybody lost their legs thanks to the right-handed Mystic Leaf. 3 members did, and there is the attempt to reply from Tech 9. Did not sheath one and drop one. And that was all he was able to muster. I'm Not Ever did go down to Pulsar and the Peacekeeper, but it was not to be. The bell will sound for a team kill, and Stygian Thunder will rule Route 66. And now we move on to our next map, where the power of choice will go to Apollo Rising.
This series has been stupid close right now. Closer than the scoreline indicates. Like, it's coming down to the wire, and it looks like on, all 3 segments that we played, it looks like Apollo Rising start to have it in the bag. They go up 80-0 on one of those segments on Ilios. There's only 1 minute left, and they have the ulti advantage on the hold. Like, it looks like Apollo Rising would take this map too, but both times they fall short at the very last second, not able to pull it out. And because of that, Stygian Thunder are 2-0 in this series, with just some massive hero plays at the end.
Indeed, there's not really all that much that really needs to be stated aside from, I'd say I Forgot My Name in his EMPs. Mystic Leaf with the Earth Shatter, though, I'd say single-handedly got the just basically got the better of the defense, because it took down 3 members, and most of them were either close to or actually had the ults in the back pocket that could have battered back that offense, but it was not to be, sadly. And now Stygian Thunder are on the cusp of winning, and we go to Hanamura for our next segment. And well, Mr. Graham Morrison, I propose to you this question: will we see a snowball through eventually for Hanamura, or will the old situation rear its ugly head for a lot of 2CP maps where it's a quick first fight and then an absolute slog for the second, especially on Hanamura, where it's been a long time Rubik's Cube situation where they try to figure out how to move forward in the second point. Despite having a large time bank, they just can't figure it out.
It's tough. I mean, I honestly, based on the way these defenses have gone, I have to imagine that it's going to be a case where it's going to be a slog. Both of these defenses have looked pretty good, and there have been a few stalemates at times. So I don't think we're just going to see lightning time on lightning time. But I've been proven wrong many times before. We'll see.
I'd love to be proven wrong. I'd love to see. I know it's a rare occurrence, but I would love to see blazing time after blazing time, and then just watch it keep on going to some astronomical high. Like, what's the highest from memory? I think it's like 8-7 in a single assault set.
Jeez.
Yeah. Forget when that was. That's going back quite a long way, though. I think it's just after the assault changes had come to fruition. I believe that was a year and a bit ago.
Well, the bigger numbers on the clock here, Cyber Waste, is a 3-2. We need a 3-0 run from Apollo Rising if they want to take this series. It all starts here on this map. This is a do or die for them as Stygian Thunder are looking to steal this series 3-0 in impressive fashion. I mean, this has been stupid close. This has been such a close game. But 3-0 could be the ending, and that would be devastating for Apollo Rising, and if you're an Apollo Rising fan.
Indeed, because they have... It's definitely not without merit. Stygian Thunder have been forced to work tooth and nail to actually get to the scoreline that they are. This is an epitome of the set score. It does not indicate how tight things have been. It's been back and forth all night. And, well, the side of Apollo Rising have turned into a bleeding bunch. They're going with the tried and true GOAT setup for this initial push. And, well, they're wasting no time.
Hanagotsa is out and on the field. Got the opening engagement coming through. Will it work out? I'm Not Evan gets a nice kill onto Motion. Good start for the defense, but will it be enough? They're looking for a few more. Mystic Leaf, the Rhine going down is not the start that they wanted. Now we have the Coalescence already out on the field as Timu has fallen. I'm Not Evan, he's got his ulti as well. We'll find one before killing himself. And it looks like Goats might actually just happen to Goats it out.
When in doubt. Well, that was a term coined by ZP, one of the best casters in Overwatch as a whole. When in doubt, Goats it out. And, well, that's showing the true potency, especially when your Moira is at least up to snuff, which Razorfish is well and truly proven. After that fight, had the Coalescence ready to go and lay to rip, and was one of the deciding factors. And, well, based on the old economy, it's going to be difficult, but well and truly doable to try and push Aaron to the point. But that Graviton Surge definitely put a stop to that, and Jadora has made it even tougher to advance.
Yeah, still trying to brawl out at this point and find whatever they can. Another good anti comes in, though. Pulse is going to fall. Ulti's being used for the defense. And that will be the cue to call it a push. Wave it off. Fall away. Take your spawns. Pulsar is going to be swapping over to the recently buffed Soldier 76. Tech9 over to the tried and true Genji. Padawagon back on his comfortable Diva as this change has come through. They're keeping the Moira, Lucio, and Winston. Will it be the right place?
I'd say it's wise to keep the Moira in the fight, especially with the Coalescence in their back pocket. But after the Coalescence is actually expended, it will be a curious thing as to whether it'll stay on the table. Emotion and Padawagon have actually cracked open the defense, and there is the snowball going to work for I Forgot My Name. has dropped out Razorfish just after the convalescence had been expended at Ghidorah and gotten rid of, but I forgot my name. So this attack is definitely not over yet, but it will be long gone before this is all said and done, especially with the Primal Rage and the Doomfist that are on deck for Stygian Thunder.
I'm Not Evan has done a lot of work on that Doomfist, finding a couple opening kills. Tech9 will win that duel though on the Genji, picking him off. Spawns are still here, but they are still going the way of Apollo Rising. Dragonblade coming through, looking for anything else. Pulsar is going to find the kill with the rockets, and there's a quick 1-2 punch on the Diva from Tech9. Going to pick Teemo up as well. There's still LeMay and Doomfist back on this point. Pulsar has fallen. I'm Not Evan trying to delay, and now the Moira's out. These spawns keep trickling. We haven't even seen a tick yet, Cyberwaste. Not even a tick!
Oh, they're really being made to sweat on the side of Apollo Rising, and Panawag has actually got the better of Mystic Leap, so it's still a neck-and-neck affair, and I forgot my name is actually moving out way towards the front line. Teemu and I'm Not Evan have thinned out this attack a bit more, and it was a long war of attrition. I would say at least a minute and a half, just based off of estimates, but the attack that looked oh so close for Apollo Rising does not come to fruition, and not even a tick was given up for the defense of Stygian Thunder. And well, the attackers do not have much to show for it. All Panawagon has is the self-destruct. The attack visor will be online very, very shortly, but Big Dad can eat all of that up and say, well, no hacks for you.
This is where we see the mental fortitude of Apollo Rising come in. That is such a demoralizing push where you don't even get a tick, and now we need to see how they respond to it. Ghidorah going down early is not the greatest start, but it's a Winston for Winston trade. I think they will take that, but the kills, they come right back in for Stygian Thunder. Apollo Rising are being completely shredded right now. One tick still not going to be able to be found. Tech9 just trying to delay and do whatever he can. He gets a kill on Lucio, but he will fall. The Doomfist of I'm Not Evan is tearing this team apart.
Well, there's plenty of other people that are good with their fists in video games that you could allude to. You could allude to the boxer from Street Fighter 2, also known as Balrog or M. Bison. You could equate him to TJ Combo, and definitely really wanting to lay waste to anybody he stands up to, and I'm Not Evan is proving that in spades. It also has the Meteor Strike at the ready. It might not even need it. It's jumped right in and dropped a mighty hammer onto Pulsar. There is the Meteor Strike dropping onto this team fight. The Genji of Tech9 has been blown back, and well, this push has been paused and well reset. You may as well press the stop button, rewind it, and record again, because that is not a good take at all. And despite the big time bank that the side of Apollo Rising did start with, we're running just sub 2 minutes. No progress made. And, well, looking at the old economy, could be their best chance yet coming up, but Apollo Rising are really running out of chances.
Nanoblade is out on the field. Is Lucio left to try and counter that one, and it's not going to find anything as Tech9 gets freeze. They're looking for kills. Padawagon's got the DMAC. That's the first thing in the feed. Mystic Leap will fall as well, and now the offense is starting to chime in. This is starting to look like something. We have a tick, Cyber. We have a tick. Can you believe it? Patrick Warburton would be proud, but will they find a second tick? Can they find the elusive third tick? They need these kills to start coming in. The spawns are here. Pulsar has fallen. We need to find something else. The kills are going the way of the defense, and it looks like one tick will be all that there was to grab, and Ghidorah is going to be staggered.
Indeed, it's stretched out badly. So 58.9%. So a win condition is locked for Stygian Thunder after the change, but it'll be up to the side of Apollo Rising to try and figure out how to make things a little bit more difficult. Perhaps the dream scenario could come to fruition, but they will not have all that much time. We're down to under 1 hot minute, and aside from the Primal Rage, none of the members of Apollo Rising are even close to getting an ultimate on deck to contend with things, and the May of I Forgot My Name is still being an absolute menace, just putting up a wall on the predictable choke. We're down to just over 30 seconds now, and they're running out of time. on the side of Apollo Rising, but Theodora is basically trying to open the gate to come in and mount an attack, but it's going to be extremely difficult, Graham.
It is not going to be easy. The remaining players can't even get in here for Apollo Rising, and it will be Stygian Thunder holding out, giving up only a single tick. And this is dire. But the problem is, there is a secret weapon on the side of Stygian Thunder. I figured out who I'm Not Evan is. He is very clearly Smoking Joe Frazier reincarnate with the way that he was rocking those fists.
You definitely get no arguments from me. He's a very formidable foe, both in boxer form and as a kangaroo. Nobody's going to get that, but I find that prospect hilarious. But still, I would not want to feel I'm Not Evan's left or right hand. If that is any indicator, you'd be left with a dislocated jaw and an absolutely shattered morale. He just ran right over whatever the attackers could throw at him.
Yeah, I mean, few punches to the jaw and you have a worse looking face than your own Cyber Waste, and I wasn't sure that was possible.
Oh dear. You couldn't help yourself, could you?
I mean, I was trying to figure out like a celebrity to insult or something, so I like didn't pick on you. And then I started thinking, I haven't picked on you in a long time. I feel like you kind of missed it. I gotta get one in.
You gotta keep up the status quo. I gotcha. I understand. Timu still floating around his heroes, wondering who to choose. Perhaps mounting a unique offense. Is I forgot my name really gonna stick with the May? Oh, a pause might be called. Yes, Timu is still floating around his hero screen. Could be having some computer issues. No, just a little bit of a dragging of the time. Upset. Sort of actually going to do their thing. And I forgot the name. Is actually sticking with this May, which is really interesting. Let's see how it actually comes to fruition. Very unique setup coming up from Stygian Thunder.
I love this defense style from Apollo Rising. It can catch players out, and Theodora getting Mystic Leaf is exactly the first pick they were looking for. He will be frozen up by the May, but he's going to be A-okay. I'm Not Evan has fallen, and this, I think, has worked out very, very well for Apollo Rising.
Yes, indeed. The May, a unique pick, could have actually worked if they got the frags that they were looking for on the side of Stygian Thunder. They could actually try to do it if one of the members actually overextends. Zara's actually brought extremely low, and I'm Not Evan on the Reaper now has brought down one of the members, and Stygian Thunder are actually starting to run right through. And despite Theodora laying the hammer down, it is not enough. I forgot my name has thrown out Snowball to make things a little bit more chilly in amongst this first point of Hanamura. And while it's not clean, this fight is slowly tipping towards the side of Stygian Thunder. And now only Tech 9 on the Diva is left, and perhaps running a little bit scared, especially with I forgot my name on the main now ejecting him from the mech, and then Mystic Leaf putting on the final seal. The Stygian Thunder, a strange comp, might have thrown their opposition off guard, might have made Apollo Rising second guess, but it's worked so far.
Oh, they are. Oh, the whip! Mystic Leaf! He cannot play Super Mario well enough. He is not good at platforming. He had one job of jumping up, and he was not able to do it. Fell down a pit, and that might stunt this attempt, as I'm Not Evan now gets knocked down a pit as well.
And that is the worst thing that could have happened. It's a play that's so rarely seen. It actually had the chance to catch the entire defense unawares. But, oh, so unfortunate for Mystic Leaf, and he might not live that down if Stygian Thunder do end up giving him an absolute roasting for it if Sigid Thunder end up giving this round up. They want to have a go again, and it's more successful on the second attempt, but that Mystic Leap actually whipped the hammer there. Pulsar did end up getting knocked down to the garden below, so that is one good thing in his favor. But Mystic Leap has been put to bed. Padawan has gotten rid of Big Dad. Then Big Dad's walked back into the fight. Death Blossom has claimed the Genji of Padawagon, and then the Lucio action for extremely low, but not finished off. Tech 9 has gotten the better of the run out there. This fight will actually continue, and still not one tick, but it has to be coming very shortly. Unless Padawagon runs right through the attack like butter and brings that attack to a very sharp and painful halt.
Worth noting is a very subtle change in that defense is they had Padawagon go to Genji. Okay, there's the swap. He went to Genji, got the blade, went off, but that's after Tech9 had been going absolutely insane. He stayed on D.Va to get the bomb. Now Padawagon's up on D.Va. Tech9's on Doomfist, and Pulsar is on Genji. So talk about the shuffling for this defense. We'll see if it works out for Apollo Rising. Tech9 is good Doomfist player on himself. And Pulsar fairly good at Genji too, so this could work out, and we'll see if it does. Tech9 getting a nice pick onto Timu.
Not quite enough though. Mystic Leaf will stop the punching of Tech9, and Pulsar actually getting rid of Mystic Leaf, and Razorfish actually being part of the tandem. So despite the fight tipping in favor of Sigid Thunder early on, it might not be enough, and Pulsar being the better Shibata brother so briefly will put a crit on I'm Not Evan, and now Sigid Thunder will have to make the call to retreat, and retreat quickly, because this defense is back and better than ever. Just look at their ult economy. 3 with a 4th on the way onto Motion, and a 5th as well on Tech9.
See if this next engagement works out. Valkyrie is popped off here, as is the sound barrier, but the weight up walled off by their own team. That's not quite how that's supposed to work. Tech9 is in the back lines, wreaking havoc onto Timu. However, it's Razorfish is the opening casualty. A very nice shatter, and there's going to be 3 kills for the offense. They should find a tick. The delay is trying to come in from Jador right now. This is looking so good for Stygian Thunder. Will they close out our series here, Cyber Waste? They need a tick and a half. They're finding the kills. The respawns are coming in, but the kills are still going the way of the offense. They're finding everything. Stygian Thunder, will this be it? Will they find a tick? Kills coming through. There's the tick. It is going to be game, set, and a match. Stygian Thunder 3-0ing Apollo Rising.
Indeed, the music of Apollo will sound no more, and that is a sweep for Stygian Thunder, but we'll say it again. The scoreline truly doesn't indicate how close a lot of this set was. Sure, the assault map did end up tipping in a little bit more of a dominant fashion, but still an amazing show, and Padawagon with the play of the game there, really trying to tip things back. It was not to be, but all in all, despite what the scoreline will indicate, a Stygian Thunder 3-0 victory, we were treated to an absolute show.
Yeah, I mean, it's weird sitting here and being like, yeah, you know, this 3-0 game, like, it was a 3-0. It's totally, but it was, like, it was genuinely such a good series. It was close. We had a lot of very strong plays. Even Padawagon had a huge Genji play there as well, and that's the off-tank player. But, like, you know, like a few hero plays on both teams. A couple players absolutely popping off. I'm Not Evan, Tech9 come to mind. But, like, 3-0, sure, absolutely insane game overall. And Saber, this is where I put you on the spot. Give me an MVP.
Whoa. I'd say purely on his Sombra play in the first 1.5 maps, how much information he got to relay to the rest of the team, I would actually give it to I Forgot My Name, with a lot of the huge team tipping plays that a lot of the other members had capitalized on, and that's what really bought Stygian Thunder a lot of the wins that they got. Who
It's a
would you
good point.
who would you say?
I mean, like probably the sexy pick, if you can call it that, is going to be I'm Not Evan. Like he had the flashy plays. He was so consistent across all three maps, just absolutely insane. Very safe. He'd be like the safe MVP pick. Probably was the MVP of the game. But I am going to highlight someone else instead. I'm going to highlight Timu. Some of those anti-nades he threw out while on Ana, especially on Route 66, were game-winning plays.
Yeah.
There was a fight that Apollo Rising were getting set to engage in. It was going to be one of their big pushes, and there were like 5 people got antied. He shut down the entire game with some of his antis. It was so on point. Obviously, it's less flashy as he was playing Lucio on Hanamura. There's less impressive stuff. Like it's hard to impress on Lucio. I'm sorry, no matter how good you are, it's hard to do. But I will say, like I think he deserves comment for MVP. Evan again probably is the safe one. And I will shout out Tech Nine as well on Apollo Rising. Like he had so many mental plays. Like there were fights that felt like Apollo Rising shouldn't win or weren't going to win that he came through. But my rule is, of course, you can't give MVP when you're outclassed and lose the game. So I'll go with Timu.
Well, that's a pretty fair assessment. Not going with the obvious pick, but we will give him his due. But that will be where our coverage here will conclude. There is another game at 8:30 this evening, which will also be on twitch.tv/AOE Sports. And we highly, highly recommend that you join us for that as well. But producer Evan and my co-caster, Mr. Graham Morrison, we will be signing off. Do you have any parting words?
Just hit me up with one of those fat little Twitter follows. Everyone out there, that is at Dreamboatcasts on Twitter, because I'm almost at 550. I'm at like 531. A couple of you guys out there, there's like 35 people in chat. If all 35 of you follow me, I'm breaking 550. So that would be my piece of advice. My wise words of wisdom: drop a follow and drive safe.
Indeed, and that will be where we will end things for for the rest of the night.